Hello everybody, my name is Neil Bakiev and I'm your IELTS instructor, and welcome to the video course called Mastering IELTS Essay Writing Model Answers. And today we'll be focusing on opinion essay because the question is, do you think the advantages of this technology outweigh the disadvantages? So the keywords are do you think, so the examiner wants to know our personal opinion. Now let's look at the task response. Make sure to fully address all parts of the task given so that the examiner will give you a high score. Now let's focus on this essay prompt. Some people use social media to keep in touch with other people and news events. Do you think the advantages of this technology outweigh the disadvantages? First, let's look at the introduction paragraph. The use of social networking sites has increased in popularity worldwide over the last several decades. So this is a background statement. It's a general trend. Something is true around the world, and you need to indicate it here in this first sentence. So the keywords are the use of social networking sites has increased in popularity here worldwide, right? And that's why we're talking about the general trend. Next, sociologists and healthcare providers point out both positive and negatives connected with this trend. Okay, so this is my essay plan. So I will indicate the first aspect in the first body paragraph, and I will be talking about these negative aspects in the second body paragraph. Okay. All right, let's move on. Whilst seeing potential drawbacks, I consider that on balance, this development is beneficial. So this is my personal opinion because the examiner wants to know my opinion. Do you think? And the answer is I consider that on balance. On balance means that when you compare advantages and disadvantages, you choose either the advantages or the disadvantages. Okay. Let's focus on the first body paragraph. It is believed that the overuse of social media may affect health and communication skills. So the expression "it is believed that" means that that's what people believe. That's not what I believe. Okay? And here, I say that sociologists and healthcare providers. So I'm talking about their opinion, not my opinion. And they say that the overuse of social media may affect health and communication skills. So this is the first advantage, and this is the second advantage. All right. Sorry, this is the first disadvantage, and this is the second disadvantage. Right. So now let's move on to the next sentence. Dietitians state that those who have been using social media over a lengthy period are likely to gain excessive weight. So I'm talking about the first disadvantage in detail. So here we said may affect health, right? And here to gain excessive weight. Okay, so if somebody gains excessive weight, he becomes obese, and of course it affects somebody's health, so this person's health. Next, one of the reasons for this is that they don't exercise much and therefore become overweight. So for you, it's important to show the reason for this trend. So you have to explain why people gain excessive weight. Next, as a result, these individuals may suffer not only from obesity, but also from cardiovascular problems. Okay, so again, we're talking about health right? And we're talking about obesity, and we're talking about cardiovascular problems. Cardiovascular here means heart-related problems. Next, in addition to this, sociologists point out that the more individuals use social networking platforms, the less frequently they have face-to-face communication with their loved ones and colleagues. Okay, so this is the explanation of the second aspect, communication skills. Communication skills means that the way you talk to people, you socialize, you interact with them. Next, consequently, they might have difficulty communicating and maintaining healthy relationships with both family members and coworkers. So I explain everything in detail. So the idea is focus on the first two negative aspects, and then talk about the first aspect in detail, and then talk about the second aspect in detail in the same body paragraph. Now let's focus on the second body paragraph. Although the previous points are true to some extent, I believe that those who use social media rationally ultimately gain more reward than suffer harm. This is my personal opinion. So basically, I contradict the main points mentioned in body paragraph 1. So that's my central idea. Because I say ultimately gain more reward. Ultimately means finally, in the long run. Next, a vast number of gym fans, for example, work out intensively to build their muscles and look physically attractive. So now here I'm talking about a situation where sports fans go to the gym and they work out intensively. Why? Because they want to build the muscles and look physically attractive. Next, however, they interact with their friends through Facebook and Twitter during their rest, when recovering energy during rest periods. Okay. So the idea is they use Facebook and Twitter, and it helps them to relax and to interact with their friends and relatives. Next. Thus, they develop both physically and socially. Okay, so before, in the first paragraph, it's clear that sociologists and healthcare providers, right, believe that social media can negatively affect health and communication skills. But here, I say that social media can positively affect such people, and explain how. Next, furthermore, while family members who live together have the opportunity to interact with each other in person, those who frequently travel don't have this option and therefore find it necessary to use social media in order to continue communication with family. Okay, so this is my counter argument to the second advantage from body paragraph 1, right? So socially, and here we have communication skills, and I'm providing a counter argument. All right, and so what's the strategy? The strategy is here you basically should say that you disagree with this, and then focus on each point presented in this body paragraph and explain it, that it's not correct, why, and then you explain why. No, this is not correct, and then you explain why in this body paragraph. So you must provide counter arguments. Let's look at the conclusion paragraph. In conclusion, I would argue that even though difficulties may arise when using social media extensively, the general public should welcome this trend rather than fear it, as long as it is used wisely. So in conclusion, I would argue that. So this is my personal opinion, right? Now, if you look at the essay prompt, right, it says, do you think? So the examiner wants to know my personal opinion, and therefore I would argue that. Okay, and then even though difficulties may arise, difficulties, okay, and I'm talking about the first two negative aspects indicated in the first body paragraph and the second, the first one, in the first body paragraph, right? And then I say the general public should welcome this trend rather than fear it as long as it is used wisely. And how to use it wisely, I've already explained in this body paragraph. All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like you to focus on these three major aspects here. Okay, coherence and cohesion, lexical resource, and grammatical range and accuracy. Okay, pay close attention to different colors here, and each color represents one specific aspect, because the examiner will pay close attention to all of these elements, and then he will evaluate your essay, and then you will get your grade. So if you learn how to use all of these aspects, then you will learn how to link ideas and use referencing. You will learn how to use advanced vocabulary and a wide range of grammar. And that's it. Thank you very much for watching and analyzing this video lesson in detail.